What's going on, everybody? I am Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and this is my review, my spoiler review of Black Mirror Season 6, Episode 1, Joan is Awful. So I'm gonna look at some notes here real quick because I need to make sure I get everything. I just want to, like, right off the bat, man, like, this cast is stacked like crazy. Obviously, you have Annie Murphy. A lot of people have seen her face on the front of this, along with Selma Hayek as, like, the two main and big stars in here. But you also have everywhere from Jabuki Young White is in this, as well as Bisagura, Avinash, and just a whole, just jam-packed cast here of both stars and, like, up-and-coming folk. And the reason for that, for those that obviously have seen the episode, I hope you've watched it by now because there's a lot of spoilers here. This whole episode is really meta because it's about following a regular everyday person who signed their life away, and then they are having a show made about them from a streaming service, Netflix, or Streamberry in this world, but it is a direct nod to Netflix. They use the same theme, the same little kind of and, like, slide in and all that kind of stuff. And I think why this is so wild to me, and I guess bravo for Netflix for putting this out, this is kind of one of the reasons why the strike is sort of going on as is right now, the writer's strike. You've got a situation here. There's this, it kind of gives a nod to one of my favorite South Park episodes, the Human Sentai Pad, where you have somebody that signed the terms and conditions of using a service, in this case using a streaming platform, Streamberry, to watch shows and all that kind of stuff. But you gave Joan, the Joan that we're watching, Annie Murphy's character, has signed her life away, and that Streamberry can use her real life story to do whatever she wants. And it's all connected in the fact that, again, Black Mirror is always connected to technology. Every time her phone, her webcam, anything like that is on, it's picking up all that information. It is sending it to this quantum computer, or the Quamputer. Michael Cera's in it too. I forgot about that. Quamputer. And from there, it's reenacting the exact story. It's maybe embellishing some of the dialogue and whatnot and making it worse than it is. But then you even get to, when we get to Michael Cera's character, this idea of almost Inception of there is a source Joan who we meet at the very end, the person this is about, who then is being portrayed by Annie Murphy. Annie Murphy, who's playing the first level of Joan, is being portrayed by Selma Hayek. Selma Hayek is being portrayed by Cate Blanchett, and in all of those cases, that the person that's playing the likeness, so Selma Hayek, who is playing Joan, is in the same way that Annie Murphy is. But it's very Inception, layers deep, and I love a lot of the messages that Charlie Brooker always has in these Black Mirrors, in that we kind of have, in so many ways, signed our life away to so many of these platforms, signing terms and conditions that nobody reads. Again, South Park, dove into that years and years ago, and it's worth reminding because we are fully ingrained into our phones, into our tech, into contracts that none of us have read. I guarantee you there's probably, what people aren't even thinking about it, but, like, there are folks that have played Call of Duty that have agreed to the terms and conditions from Activision, and they don't even know that at this point they have signed up to be in World War III, and when Activision is a part of the government extension to draft us all in. Like, that's how wild a lot of this stuff is that genuinely nobody reads this stuff. And so you end up in a situation where we already feel insecure, we feel like crap, we do things that we aren't necessarily proud of, all that kind of stuff. And essentially what ends up happening with the show, all of the worst things that she's done are not only on display. We hear from the Streamberry CEO at one point, and she's just like, we tried doing it with a situation where they were the best version of themselves, and nobody bought it. Everybody's too insecure, everybody's too anxious, all that kind of stuff. So when we dove to the worst common denominator, it worked. And what was so interesting is she even said, we got it on everybody. Joan was the prototype, but we got all 8 billion of the folks out here, and they're about to get their versions of it. Even the journalist that's interviewing her talking about Fatima is Fatima's the word. Fatima is awful. So it's just, there is just so, I love meta stuff. First of all, it's always something that's been really interesting. I think it's a fun way to dive into philosophy. I think it's a fun way to dive into where society's at, all that kind of stuff. Um, but to really see it like this and see how it's broken down again, how our lives are fully recorded always. Like, it doesn't even have to be something like a Netflix or a Streamberry. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff. We are just kind of giving away our likeness, let alone as far as AI goes, because this is a direct talking about AI. Um, think about when that AI, the art stuff happened. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, I want to make the art version of myself," and people weren't reading the terms and conditions that you were giving your likeness away. I would not be surprised if maybe even part of this. I don't know when this was filmed, because that happened. I want to say roughly about 9 months ago when that started, maybe 10. Same thing. I don't think people realize in the multitude of ways that we've signed our life away, let alone if you look at it, there is a comment by the CEO of Streamberry in here where it's like, normally to come up with the show, to do a production, it's something that would take months to happen. And you're spending all this money to make that production happen. By using the computer here, by using this algorithm, we are essentially cutting all the middleman stuff out, and we're able to make this show stuff in real time and an infinite amount of content. And it is absolutely crazy to see. It's so interesting because, again, the Joan character is supposed to be just the everyday person. You do see all of the stuff that we all feel some type of way about our relationships, about our job, about exes, about celebrities, food, all that kind of stuff. We get a chance to see that and really kind of examine it. And I think that's what makes it even more unnerving, is just from the standpoint of, like, there was something that everybody could relate to. There was, the situation where, like, if you had a relationship at one point and maybe you felt some type of way about it, or an ex you couldn't get over, or a job that you couldn't stand, or somebody you felt like you betrayed at work, they really kind of covered all of that, and that's what sucked you in so quickly. And then you just kind of went from there. Now, I can already tell that there are going to be some people that this is not going to be their thing, but I think this falls so directly into, it almost feels like a little bit of a remix of some of the previous Black Mirror episodes, because, we had the social media episode, we had the USS Cavalier, which obviously won an Emmy and all that kind of stuff. And the thing about the USS Cavalier as well, remember, you had the source material. He was making the DNA clones of them and putting them in that game. You're getting, again, Black Mirror loves to borrow from itself. Same thing. You had the source material that's making, the next step. So for me, I think that this was a very strong start to this new season of Black Mirror. I'm probably going to go back and do a recap of the whole series, because I haven't watched Black Mirror in a long time, and it is one of my favorite programs ever. But if I had to give this out of 10, I'd probably go ahead and give this like a very solid 8, man. Like, Annie Murphy did a phenomenal job. Selma Hayek is goddamn hysterical. She always has been. Like, obviously she's been hot as hell since we were ever introduced to her in the first place, and still got it, goddamn. But, like, she is so funny. Like, her comedy has always been like top tier in that way. And that's really what I got out of this. It was just kind of an unnerving laugh riot the whole time. Like, the whole time that Jay-Z meme where he's doing like the head bob and he's like kind of looking back, and like this was me the whole time watching. I was like, oh God, this is exactly where we're going with AI and technology right now. So I think this is a very strong start to Black Mirror, but I want to know what you think. Please, down in the comments, let me know what you thought of Joan is Awful, Season 6, Episode 1 of Black Mirror. Are you excited that Black Mirror is back? I believe, let me double check. I don't remember how many Black Mirror Season 6 episodes. So let's see. It looks like we got 5. Looks like we got 5. So we got 5 episodes this season. I really want to know what you think about them. I'm going to not put these all out at once. I'll probably do one a day, just so, I can give myself a break. I have other things I have to take care of, all that kind of stuff, but I do want to know. So please be sure, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought about Black Mirror season 6 episode 1. Joan is awful. And come on back, man. I've got plenty of those reviews coming. I've got the movie reviews that you've seen with like The Flash, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, all that good stuff. And some comedy posted up here as well. Breakfast AM News and sketches and whatnot. So please come through, say what's up. And be sure to follow me on other platforms as well. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Got a lot of fun content over there as well. So with that, y'all, got another bit of love for you. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.